Welcome everyone to today's Masterclass Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you in my public speaking class today because, well, we're going to tackle something that absolutely terrifies most people. Yep, impromptu speaking. You know that horrible sinking feeling, right, when all eyes just suddenly snap to you in a meeting or someone shoves a microphone in your face out of nowhere? Your heart literally starts pounding, your mind goes completely blank. It's a total nightmare. But hey, today we are going to systematically dismantle that fear. Let's get right into it. Okay, here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the reality of unscripted speaking, then talk about overcoming that impromptu anxiety. After that, I'll give you a quick response structure to use, explain why delivery actually trumps content, cover some essential presentation techniques, and finally, give you a practice assignment. All right, part one, the reality of unscripted speaking. You know, we tend to picture public speaking as this super formal thing, right? Standing behind a giant podium, gripping your cue cards for dear life. But the truth is, impromptu speeches happen everywhere. We're talking zero preparation, absolutely no practice, and we give them all the time. Whether you're answering a totally unexpected question in a Tuesday morning office meeting, or, I don't know, giving a quick toast at a wedding, or even sharing a memory at a funeral, you're constantly being asked to articulate your thoughts with zero warning. So, hear me on this. You aren't failing at public speaking. You're literally just participating in everyday human interaction. It really boils down to this one simple truth. Life rarely gives you a script. You literally cannot script your entire life. So being able to speak clearly off the cuff, it's not just some fancy, nice-to-have skill reserved for politicians. It is absolutely a fundamental survival skill for both your career and your personal life. Moving right along to part two, overcoming impromptu anxiety. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room here. The dread. The absolute panic and physical anxiety that hits when all eyes turn to you. Listen, I want to completely validate what you're feeling because these challenges are so incredibly real. The fear of saying the wrong thing can be completely paralyzing. The pressure to instantly organize your thoughts, it feels impossible, especially when your adrenaline is spiking through the roof. And don't even get me started on the anxiety of filling dead air. Standing there in silence feels like an eternity. If you felt these things, you are completely normal. But we've got to change how we view this. Here is the single most important mindset shift you're going to make today. Are you ready? Silence equals thinking time. It does not equal failure. Let me repeat that because it's that important. Taking a pause is perfectly acceptable. When someone asks you a question, you do not have to start talking a millisecond later. Taking 3, even 5 seconds of total silence just to gather your thoughts, that actually shows composure. It shows you're measured. Knowing you have complete permission to just pause, take a breath, and think, it's a total game changer for your anxiety. So why even bother pushing through the discomfort to learn this stuff? Well, just look at the payoff. Mastering this builds massive, lifelong confidence. It seriously supercharges your critical thinking because you're training your brain to synthesize information on the fly. Plus, you instantly project this incredibly strong leadership presence. Think about it. Real leaders are the ones who can turn absolute chaos into clarity at a moment's notice. It makes you far more persuasive and makes you incredibly adaptable in this rapidly changing world. The rewards here are just huge. All right, let's get to part 3, the quick response structure. Okay, grab your notebooks because this is the absolute core of today's Masterclass Explainer. This is your emergency step-by-step toolkit for structuring your thoughts fast. I want you to memorize this 6-step framework so you always have a mental roadmap, even when you're panicking. Step 1, get attention. Hit them with a strong statement, a quick question, or a super brief anecdote. Step 2, tell them why they should listen. Connect your topic right to their immediate interests. Step 3, your thesis. This is your core argument neatly packed into one single clear sentence. Basically, what's your bottom line? Step 4, main points. Quickly deliver 2, maybe 3 supporting points. Keep it simple. Do not overcomplicate this part. Step 5, review those main points real quick just to make sure they stuck. And finally, step 6, close by reinforcing your thesis. Bring the whole thing full circle. Stick to this chronological structure and your brain won't get lost no matter how nervous you are. Okay, on to part 4. Delivery trumps content. Now, I want to share a totally counterintuitive reality that should seriously lower your blood pressure about finding the quote-unquote perfect words. Check out this data. When you get thrown into an impromptu speech, you probably obsess over the content, right? Like exactly what words to say. But research shows that effective communication is 55% nonverbal, 38% vocal tone, and get this, only a tiny 7% content. Really let that sink in. The actual words you say make up just 7% of your impact in these moments. Delivery matters infinitely more. If you speak with real conviction, solid tone, and good inflection, your audience is going to trust you, even if your actual argument isn't perfectly polished. Which brings us nicely to part 5, essential presentation techniques. Since we just learned that delivery is basically 93% of the battle, let's break down the actual physical mechanics of projecting confidence. Think of this as your physical checklist. First up, remain calm. Take that intentional pause we talked about earlier. Second, maintain really strong eye contact. Whatever you do, don't stare at the floor. Look directly at your peers. Next, speak at a clear, deliberate pace. When we get nervous, we naturally speed up, right? So consciously slow it down. Also, use signposts. Words like first, second, and finally are lifesavers for helping your audience track your ideas. Remember to project your voice all the way to the back of the room. Stand up tall, pull those shoulders back. Honestly, fake it until you actually feel it. And above all else, just remember to smile. A smile instantly disarms your audience, and as a bonus, it naturally relaxes your vocal cords. And finally, part 6, your practice assignment. Look, a masterclass just isn't complete without a little homework. So we're going to set up a quick assignment for you to practice at home to help turn all this theory into pure muscle memory. Here's the drill. We have 6 big concept words here: freedom, love, fear, safety, loyalty, and respect. I want you to pick just one of these words. Your assignment is to instantly drop that word into a thesis statement and build a rapid-fire speech around it using that 6-step structure we just covered. Remember, get attention, tell us why we should care, state your thesis using your chosen word, give 2 main points, review them, and close it out. The best part? You don't even need an audience for this. You can literally do this by yourself in your living room. So I'm leaving you with a direct challenge right now. Which word are you going to choose? I want you to physically stand up, pick a word, and deliver a 60-second speech to whatever empty room you're sitting in right this very second. No, seriously, don't wait. Feel the awkward silence, take a deep breath, and just speak. Because by stepping into that discomfort right now, you are practically guaranteeing your confidence for when the real world inevitably demands that you take the floor without a script. Class dismissed. Keep practicing, and I will see you all in our next explainer.